Welcome to Mind Your Heart podcast, your favorite corner of the internet where we chat about all things mental health. I'm Emily.
And I'm Trina. Together, we're like your real life Lorelai and Rory Gilmore. Each week, we'll bring you real conversations about the world of mental health, and we will peel back layers on topics like anxiety, depression, and much more.
We're here to chat with you about the tough stuff, the everyday stuff, and everything in between. So grab your emotional support water bottle, I know we have ours, find your comfiest chair, or keep your eyes on the road, and let's get into it. Are you ready, Mom?
Absolutely. Join us as we mind our hearts and hopefully make minding yours a little easier. Welcome back.
Welcome back. I almost introduced myself, but I guess we don't really need to do that because of our actual intro. Then it's just kind of redundant.
Yeah, unless people skip their intro. Do you ever skip the intro of podcasts?
Yeah, but once I've already heard it.
Yeah.
If I'm listening to a brand new podcast, I normally don't skip the intro.
Yeah, me either. I don't even actually normally skip it. I skip the, yeah.
I normally, well, also the podcasts that I listen to have very short intros. So it's
Yeah.
5 seconds long. And I'm like, all right, that was a waste if I skipped it. Anyway.
You get too far. Okay, anyway. Yeah.
So this episode's not about intros.
Yeah.
We're just kind of having a catch up episode. I recently went on a trip to Peru for a retreat, so we're gonna talk a little bit about that. And just life, and you have a new puppy basically, so
I do not have a new puppy. I have a 20-year-old son who came back from his job that he was supposed to have over the summer, and he brought a puppy. And it is not my puppy, it is his puppy. I may be acting like it's my puppy right now because I'm taking care of it a lot, but that's because I think the dog needs to be fed and actually needs to go to the bathroom on a regular basis. And so,
yeah.
but yeah. Hopefully by the time this episode comes out, Jackson will have a job and we will be on a good schedule with the puppy.
Yeah. Also, I think, can we say the name of this puppy, because I think it's just really funny.
Sure.
Okay, well, the puppy's name, its nickname is Juan. But the full name on this puppy's imaginary birth certificate is Black Air Force One Drayless, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not Drayless like how we actually spell our last name. Drayless like DRE, like Dre.
Less.
Black Air Force One Drayless is the puppy's full name. And if that doesn't scream, I was adopted by a college boy, then I don't know what does.
Yeah,
to be honest. So, yeah.
He's a cute little puppy. Jackson said he was a black lab, but he's a mix. And I actually, my neighbors moved recently, which has been heartbreaking. But Matt and Shirley. But Matt and Daisy.
Shout out Matt and Shirley.
Yeah, shout out to Matt and Shirley. Oh man. Anyway, so Matt came. They moved. So Matt and Daisy, their dog, Kobe's love, came over the other day just to, say hi. And I wanted him to meet Juan. And I forgot where I was going with this.
And that he thinks that he's mixed.
Oh yeah, he thinks he's mixed with a pit bull. I was like, no.
So not only does she have a puppy, but a lab pit bull.
Yeah.
Puppy.
I was like, I think he's right, because I knew his face, the shape of his face and his ears looked familiar, but I couldn't.
He's really cute though.
He is cute. And he's very sweet. He's a very sweet, loving dog. And that's one thing Matt said, that pit bulls get a bad rap,
For sure.
But that if they're raised with love,
yeah, I
And
mean, that's like really like any dog.
yeah,
I mean, like any dog like could be raised to be an aggressive, mean dog. But like if you raise them properly, then
yeah.
they'll be good.
Wow. I know the guy, well, I always get pit bull and Rottweiler confused. Are Rottweilers also get a bad name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, because I think the trainer that I use his like workout stuff, Daniel from Ireland, has Dougal, his
Mm.
Rottweiler, and he's oh so sweet. And he's like, and they people, and he's just the sweetest dog. He's so
Yeah.
sweet. He looks like a killer, but he's he's so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully Juan will be the same way. So anyway, that has been holy
Your
cow.
journey.
It's been a journey. And Jackson didn't even tell me it was like 21-hour notice. And he's like,
So he's
yeah,
home for the summer if you missed that portion of it. So you have a, I don't know, what is a step nephew dog? I don't know what.
grandson,
Yeah, I guess a grand dog,
grand dog. Yeah,
another grand dog
another
that's
grand dog.
you have to train and feed and walk. So yeah, that's update number one.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything like else that's like been new? What
Um,
else has been going on?
going to Ireland and London and Paris.
Yeah,
That's in July. So we will likely have like most not have new episodes in July.
yeah.
We might do some reruns, but
I knew you were gonna say that.
yeah.
Before we filmed this episode, we decided that we would take a break, but in my mind, I was like, she's gonna post some reruns.
I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe we'll just find them. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Make sure you follow and then you'll know.
yeah. Um, I think that's it update wise, other than like me talking about Peru, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have anything else. Oh, your wedding dress is here.
Oh, yeah, my wedding dress is here.
You're gonna
It's
go
like
pick it up.
it's it's ready early. Like they had originally, well, to you it's ready on time, but in the text that they had sent me when like I we originally bought it, they were like it'll be ready like July and or August, like within that time frame. And it is June. And they were like your dress is ready to be picked up. Oh, also, um th we had this conversation yesterday, but I had said like where am I going to keep it? And I was like, well, like it's going to be in a garment bag, like I can just keep it in like my closet cuz Jake and I have separate closets. Um and it's not like he's like going into like my closet on the reg. Like I mean like we have like we keep our towels and sheets and stuff in there, but like it's yeah. Anyways, and so I'm like telling him, or I'm telling his mom this last night about like my dress. Now we're going to pick it up and whatever. And he was like, I would prefer that you don't keep it at the house. And I was like, what? Like, he is so, for context, Jake is so adamant that he like doesn't want to know a single thing about anything that like I'm wearing, what it's gonna look like. He won't even let me show him pictures of what I didn't pick. Like he's like, I want to be completely surprised and da da da. And I'm like, okay. So in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just keep it in the garment bag in the closet. Like he's not gonna wanna look. Like he's not even letting me show him pictures of the dresses that I didn't even end up getting. And he was like, yeah, like I'd prefer you don't keep it at the house. And I was like, what? What? So, I'll probably keep it at Carrie's house because I don't want to give it to you with a puppy for the summer.
Yeah.
That stresses me out a little bit. So, um, but she was like, "Yeah, you can keep it here." And I was like, "All right." But that's just like another thing. I'm like, "Damn it, Jake. You don't have self-control."
I know. That's
So,
crazy. And that I feel bad that I can't keep it because of yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, we're going to pick that up today. I have to like retry it on. And obviously it's not like the final whatever. Like it'll probably need alterations and stuff. But um yeah, that's another update with wedding stuff. Um Honestly, like sometimes well, last night we had a meeting with our wedding planner. And wedding planning is just like a lot. It's
Yeah.
just so much. It's a lot of work. Like even if you have a wedding planner, like it's still a lot. It's a lot of decisions. It's a lot of like thinking about very expensive things. It's just yeah, it's a lot. And sometimes I am overwhelmed with it. Like there are sometimes where I'm like I kind of just like want things to be decided and that just to be it. Like I'm like whatever, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
just pick it. So that's been a little. I think that's been tough, and this is where I'll ease this into Peru. Like
Okay.
since I got back from Peru, I have been sick, and then I injured my back. So it was just kind of like back to back things that made me tired.
Mhm.
Um, and I think what is this? It's been now 2 weeks that I've been back. It feels like
I
so
don't know. I feel like
long.
a long time. Everything
Uh-huh.
feels,
So long. It feels like the transition home was infinite.
yeah.
But because like I am still like a little bit tired from that, like when we had the wedding planning meeting, I was like, ugh. I told our wedding planner, I was like, she was like, "How are you?" And I'm like, like I'm fine. And Jake had a really busy week at work this week. So Um, sometimes like and I'm sure other like brides or people who have been married can understand that like it's like just because you're planning a wedding, life does not stop.
Oh, yeah. No,
Like you're
no.
planning a
It's,
wedding
yeah.
and all
Yeah.
the other things are happening too.
Yeah.
So, and that's
Yeah.
tough.
No, it's time. It's like so consuming. It's all
Yes.
consuming. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
have a wedding planner. Had to do it myself. Well,
I
and
think I would
yeah.
go absolutely insane if we didn't have Lindsay. Like I would be having mental breakdowns at least once a week.
Yeah. I don't, I didn't really feel like that. I mean, Nanny was a massive help. So,
Yeah.
I mean, massive. And also, like, she was an events coordinator and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
she knew what she was doing.
Mhm.
And, so it was, yeah. I mean, it was stressful. I mean, I remember I got pink eye. So I got pink eye, yeah, right
Oh,
before right before our wedding. And
that
I had
sucks.
to leave school. It was my first year of school of teaching. I had to leave school, go to my friend, the eye doctor. And because I was so stressed out, he told me to put one drop every 4 hours. And I was like, 4 drops every hour. Okay, got it. Yeah. And so he called me on my wedding day, and I'm like, I can like taste like the
Oh
steroid in the back of
God.
my mouth. And he's like, how much are you putting in there? And I told him, and he's like, oh my gosh, you got to come to the office. I got to meet you in the office right now. We got to make sure you haven't like damaged your retina. And I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yes. So I was like, I had a little bit of a hormone rage on top of it. But I
Yeah.
remember when we drove, like after our wedding, we drove to Biloxi, Mississippi, and we went to New Orleans.
Hmm.
Um, I literally just climbed in the back seat and went to sleep because I was
Hmm.
because it was my first year teaching, which is
Yeah.
insane, and
God.
planning a wedding. It was, oh,
Yeah. Well, even like I mean, Lindsay like told us last night because we were talking about like the hotel like room blocks and stuff. She was like the day like on Sunday like neither of you are gonna leave the hotel room. Like you're going to sleep all day long. And I was like, yeah, I mean like that sounds about right. And she was like, no. Like you're gonna be really tired. Like you're basically gonna have like a social hangover. So like I can't imagine having pink eye and have just starting. one of the most stressful jobs you could start. Yeah, like I would also be climbing into the back of the car and falling right asleep. So, yeah. Um, but Peru was definitely like such an interesting experience. And like it is so hard to like formulate words for like retreats, I guess is like how I can put that because like when I went to Bali, like I came home and I was like, I don't even know how to like put words that like give this experience justice. Like
Mhm.
it was like I wanted to explain it to everyone, but like I also didn't because I wanted to like keep the sacredness of that experience like to myself almost.
Yeah.
Um and when I came back from Peru, like I haven't really told anyone like the details of things yet. And
Mhm.
like it's been a couple of weeks and I'm like I think like there's a part of me that was definitely like processing like what had happened and all the emotions that came along with it because it was definitely like a roller coaster of emotions. Um but it's just so hard to explain and the women that also were there on the retreat with me have said the same thing. They're like it's one of those things that it's like hard to put it into words because like it's such an experience that like when you're there like you're in it. You're everything like about your being is there in it and invested. And then like when you leave it's like it's a feeling. It's not necessarily like, oh, we did this. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we did do these things, but like it's hard to explain. And it's like even me explaining this right now like probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but like it's just one of those things that it's like words almost can't
No,
like
yeah,
do some of
unless
it
you've
justice.
experienced it, it is really hard to
Yeah.
know. And even I'm listening and I'm like, well, mine and Tulum, I'm like, yeah, it's hard to just describe it or
Hmm.
explain.
Yeah. Yeah. But my travel at least getting there was much better than it was going
Good.
to Bali. But I will say like when I went to Bali, the travel was like 35 hours or something like crazy like that. And to Peru, it wasn't nearly that long. Like the total flight time was like 7 hours, I think. Um the travel time was more than that because it was like I ow, Tebow, she just bit me. You're such a jerk.
Placebo.
Get off. Ow. Um, sorry, that distracted me. That was like such a hard bite.
Yeah,
Get
wow.
off. I don't want you on here. Um, no, no. Um, what was I saying? Oh, the I like went it was like Tampa to Miami and then Miami to Lima and I had like a 6 hour layover in Lima. And something that I did not expect and like just like wasn't completely prepared for was the fact that like in Peru like they don't speak any English. Like there is no English speakers. And Lima Airport is an international airport. So to me, like I was cuz like even when I went to Bali like in Qatar, like they spoke English. Like they spoke English and then they spoke other languages as well. And I was just a little bit thrown off by that. Like I definitely understand. I was in a different country and their first language is not English. So like I didn't expect them to like greet me in English, but like I did think that there would be someone there
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be able to help people. Like we're a whole plane full of people from America are like, you know what I mean? Like so that was definitely shocking. Like when I landed all the signs were
Well,
in
I
Spanish.
wonder if that is always that way or if it's that way right now because other countries are like, you know what, we're not going to go out of our way for another plane full of Americans.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean like the airport itself like has no signs in English, like not even like the exit sign or bathroom or whatever. Like it's all in Spanish. Um, And like thankfully my 3 years of Spanish in high school, I know like the very bare minimum of Spanish, but it and like my Google Translate wasn't working and my flights there were red eye flights. So it was like I was tired and I'm like hablas inglés like just at all like I don't know where to go. Like I just didn't know where to go. So it was like instantly like you're like in
Yeah.
Peru. And another thing that was like physically tough was the altitude, and it was just like
Mm.
not something at all that I was prepared for. We live in Florida, so our altitude is like basically zero. Um, it's like 30 feet, I think, where I am. And in Cusco, the altitude is like almost 12,000 feet. Which for perspective, that's like basically double Colorado. So
Which I got sick.
yeah, which is
Um,
already
yeah.
high. So
Yeah.
um
And I
when
think altitude sickness sucks.
it's really tough. And I
Uh,
also like didn't know. Like I just wasn't educated on like
yeah.
altitude stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea. And so I got there and the first day we were there, like I came a day early and so did like a couple of the other women that were at the retreat. And so like we all traveled from Cusco Airport to the retreat center together. So that way we could split like the ride. Um, and w when we got to the retreat center, we're like, okay, we're gonna go down to this little cafe that's like down the mountain. Like, cause like to get to the retreat center, you have to like go up these like dirt roads and winding and like you're literally going up a mountain. And so we went down to the cafe and then like, when we walked back up, it's like a 10-15 minute walk. Like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But we're walking back up this mountain and I am like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Like, I am like, and in my head, I'm like, okay, like, I know I'm not like I'm not no Olympic athlete. Like,
Yeah.
I am not like in the best shape ever, but I also like go to Pilates at least 3 times a week. Like, I walk the dog
Yeah.
frequently. Like, I shouldn't be like this out of shape.
Yeah.
And I am like, I said that to them, and I was like, am I crazy? Like, am I really am I just mistaken how out
Yeah.
of shape I am? And they're like, well, it probably is the altitude. And I was like, oh my God, like I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
They're like, did you bring altitude medication? I'm like, didn't even know that existed. So no, I did not. And that was day one.
Did
And
anyone
so
have that medication?
no, no one had
I
that.
didn't even know there was a medication. I
I
thought,
didn't either.
yeah.
And I'm like, that would have been really good to know
Yeah.
beforehand. But then like I also got a really bad migraine the first day because when I like Cusco Airport is like the size of my thumb. Like it's so small. So like it's not like there's places to like buy stuff, but I was like, "Oh, I can get a bottle of water when I get there." And you're not supposed to drink the water in Peru. So I'm like, I'm not gonna like yeah, like I couldn't fill my water bottle, but my
What's up
water
with the
was
water in that part of the world?
I don't know. It was, and so I'm like, I didn't know that our drive from the airport to the retreat center was gonna be 2 hours. And so I'm like, have like just a little bit of water left in
Oh,
my
that's
water.
not good. You're supposed to be like, yeah,
Yeah. So I
super
was
hydrated to
really
help.
struggling. I'm like, please just get to the retreat center. And then our driver kept being like, oh, like, let me show you this. And I'm like, so beautiful, but I'm like really need some water. And
Yeah.
um like it was so pretty, but I'm like please don't stop anymore because
Yeah.
like if we stop I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah.
Like so it was like the first day was just like tough. And then
Mm.
then it was like the first day of the actual retreat it was just like back to back stuff. And then the second day I was just so tired. Like
Yeah.
I felt like I had been hit by a bus. And the people that ran the retreat, they're the same people I went to Bali with. They're like just they've been on the podcast. Caroline and Jaden
Mm. Yeah.
are just like the most incredible women. Like I love them. They're amazing. And I talked to them and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like
Yeah.
I am so stressed out. Like I am tired and like I cannot imagine getting up at 6:30 and doing yoga and then like going to it was like a sweat lodge. Like they had this like
Oh
advanced
yeah.
sweat
Well, we
lodge
did
thing.
that in Tulum. I loved that though.
Yeah.
That was so
And
cool.
like that was
But
on
not when you
the
have altitude sickness.
no. And
Yeah.
that was on the schedule and then like a workshop and like just things. I mean like that you do at a retreat. And I I like messaged him and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I need to sleep. Like I don't
Yeah.
I can't I don't want to miss this,
Yeah.
but I also like am going to miss it even if I'm there.
Yeah.
Like because
Yeah.
I am so out of it.
Yeah.
And Jaden came to my room and I just started crying. I was like, I also was like really homesick. Like right away when I got there. I just like missed Jake right away. I was like, I want to be home. I want my bed. Like there was just things that like I didn't expect that like I initially like were out of my comfort zone, but like that I just like didn't expect that would be out of my comfort zone. Like there was a lot of things I was doing out of my comfort zone already.
Yeah.
But like I initially thought like I was gonna have to share a bathroom and I had like picked and paid for a private room and that didn't end up being the case, but my bathroom wasn't in my room. It was like in a hallway that I shared like this kind of house with other people. Um there wasn't like air conditioning. It was just like the air that was there. Thankfully the weather was so beautiful, so that wasn't an issue, but like initially when I got
Yeah.
there, I'm like sweating,
Yeah.
dehydrated, and seeing
I paid for air conditioning in Tulum.
I
You had
would
to
have.
pay for it. I was like, "Are you serious?" But I was like, "Absolutely," because I'm so
Hot.
hot and
Yeah.
it's just as hot as Florida. So I'm like,
Yeah, it was not as hot as Florida. It was really, really nice and like it got cold at night. So like we
yeah,
just shut the doors during the day and it like trapped the cold air. So what that didn't end up being an issue. It just was something I initially was like,
yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And so, anyways, Jaden came to my room and I started crying and I'm like, I was like, I respect both of you so much. Like the work that Jaden and Caroline had put
yeah.
into
Absolutely, yeah,
anything that they do, I'm
yeah,
like, I know is a gift and like I want to be here for that.
yeah,
But I'm like, I don't think I can do it today. Like,
yeah.
and she was like, that's okay. Like part of this retreat, like, is that you can honor your
Honoring,
body.
yeah,
Yeah.
honoring yourself for sure.
Um, and she
I'm
was
glad that
like,
they made that an option and that they didn't give you a hard time about it. Not that I think that Teresa would have given me a hard time
yeah,
about it, but it definitely, I think she would have been disappointed. And
your retreat was also shorter. Mine,
and it was a much smaller probably group.
yeah.
So that it would be different, but it is interesting how well, part of it for me was getting out of my comfort zone and having to follow a schedule that someone knew about that I didn't know about and like releasing control and
Mm-hmm.
which was challenging, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah,
But it was a challenging thing. That just I'm sorry. You know, also you made me think when you were saying that. Um, I think like the year or however many months up to your wedding is like you're excited, but it is so stressful, especially when you're like talking about finances and talking about plans and talking about and all these things. It's
mm-hmm.
stressful. And so sometimes you don't even realize how stressful. I remember they made me go on a like a I think it was like a reading conference before I was yeah, be like a couple weeks before my wedding. And I remember sitting there and like feeling like I was gonna go out of my mind.
Yeah.
And
Like, what am I
this
forgetting?
little girl they had a little girl sing a song about We Are the Children. Yeah, to
All
a bunch
right.
of teachers, and I
Yeah.
started to start bawling. I'm just sitting there bawling. And I was like hyperventilating because I was it's just everything,
Just stressed
like my
out.
first year teaching, getting married, everything felt so I can imagine like that is also at play too. And the altitude, like I got sick in Colorado and I had to drive back down a
Yeah.
little ways because I was like, I need to take a break. That actually helped massively.
There was nowhere to take a break, is the
Yeah.
other thing. Is that like where we were in the retreat center was lower than Cusco, like where we
Oh, yeah.
flew into.
Wow.
And
Okay.
not by much, by like maybe 1,000 feet. But like,
So there was no going down.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Because like
like,
Denver and Colorado was like flat.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then I drove to Colorado Springs. So I could come back a little bit
yeah.
and that's
No, it was like you were just high and that was it.
yeah.
So yeah, it was tough. And like but they were really good about it. They, like Caroline ended up like bringing me like breakfast that morning, like
That's
to
sweet.
my room. And she like sat down and she was like, "How are you doing?" And I started crying again. And, I like kind of gave her like the same like explanation. She
Yeah.
was like, the whole reason we're here is to like hold space for like what all of you need. Like, and if that's rest, then like you need to take rest. And I definitely have like a hard time like letting myself rest without guilt. So it was a practice for me in doing that. And that was tough that day because I like really wanted to be a part of things, but I also like knew that that like is not what I was able to do that day. Um, but the next day we ended up going to the salt mines and like we visited like where they basically like make textiles and stuff like that. And it was so cool. It was really cool. But where one of the places that we visit, like we went to like where they make textiles and they showed us like how they naturally make stuff. Like it's like from alpaca fur and then like the dyes are all from like plants and stuff like that. Um, and after that, we went to like this area like where the like Inca like culture used to like have like agriculture and stuff like that. And so like we're looking at that. But to get there, like it's a hike up this mountain. And I'm like in my head I'm like, okay, like I rested, like I should be like good to go. And I'm like going up this mountain, I'm like I can't catch my breath. Like I can't
Yeah.
catch my
Yeah.
breath. And I think there was just like a point like in the beginning specifically that I was just really hard on myself because I
Yeah.
was like I want to be able to like do these things so badly and I had felt like I had prepared myself more
Yeah.
than I
Yeah.
did last time
Yeah.
because like I have been so like I have been proud of myself of how much like I have moved my body
Yeah.
and like honored like what I needed with movement and like eating better and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So like when I'm like there and I'm like I'm the last one walking up
Yeah.
the hill like
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
like I can't catch my breath, like that feels embarrassing
Yeah.
and it also like is like what the hell? Like I did all
Yeah.
this work and like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Um, and there, one of the women
Ooh, it's
that
like
was there.
accepting yourself
Oh
where
yeah,
you are,
it was
no
really
matter
hard.
what, is hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard. And the one of the women that was there, her name was Darcy. She was like my angel that day. Like she like slowed down with me. She was probably your age. Like she's probably in like that realm because there was three women that were like it was like Jaden's mom was there and then two of Jaden's mom's friends and Darcy was one of them. And she was like okay, like you need to like breathe in twice and then breathe out. Like she's like guiding me through breathing and like yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like we don't have to go until you catch your breath. Like we can walk up a little bit later than everyone else. And like she was also like
Yeah,
needing to
that's
catch
great.
her breath and
Yeah.
Abby was with me and she also was like she was car sick. So she was car sick and she was struggling too. So it was like the three of us were just like
That's
in the
something for them
back
probably to keep in mind when they tell people what you need to bring.
for sure. Yeah.
This is going to be an altitude adjustment for some people. Like, just know.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like that day it was like tough and then we went to another place and we were like walking up these stairs and I was like if we got to walk back up these stairs to come back then like I'm just going to stay right here.
Yeah.
Like I can't keep going. Thankfully we did not. The van met us back like at the top of where we had walked to. Um but Yeah, that day was like great. It was so cool. We like ended up like eating at like this like community's like house. Like they had like made us lunch. It was delicious. It was so good. And they like greeted us with like a flower necklace and like they were all dancing and playing like instruments and like we got there and we're all like holding hands and it was really cool. Um
Cool.
and like the culture of Peru was really neat. And Peru itself is stunning. It's beautiful. And the people there care so deeply about the earth and like what the earth provides for us. And like I think that's just like oh, it's just
Oh
so good.
yeah,
It's
I
so
love
good to
that.
be around. Like
And
because like they so the retreat was
they
called
care about people, they care about the earth, they care
yes.
about, yeah, that's what you
Mm-hmm.
said. And that is, oh, so refreshing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like the retreat center was beautiful. Like there was flowers and just greenery and everything all
I
around.
love
But
that.
like the name of the retreat was Sinking with Pachamama, which like Pachamama is Mother Earth.
Mhm.
And and so like our guides would just like constantly talk about like how important it is for like even like our generation to like see the importance of Pachamama and like what she gives to us and like how like we need to honor her to honor ourselves and like it like that was really cool to like also hear like men
Yeah.
talking like that
Mhm.
about like how important it is for like women and men to understand that.
Mhm.
So, and then we went to Machu Picchu, which was so cool. Like
Yeah.
it was like like just breathtaking. Like holy crap. Like it was massive and beautiful. I felt like I was in a movie. Like looking out like the mountains were like the tops of it was covered by clouds and like
Yeah, I
I'm
love that.
like
Mm.
this is crazy. Um that was another day of a lot of hiking upstairs and up
I
mountains.
should have come with you. This sounds so like up my alley.
Yeah, it was great. It was there was a lot of back-to-backness, which was the thing like
Yeah.
even like in my feedback form I was like I would have liked a little more downtime
Yeah.
which we had in Bali, which
Yeah.
is probably why like I felt tired coming home too because
Yeah.
like my expectation was that we were going to have a little bit of time
Yeah.
to rest in between, but it was like thing after thing after thing after thing. And like I even to go to my massage, like I had to leave a workshop early. And
Mhm.
all these things were like scheduled, so it was
Yeah.
like I missed this workshop to like go to so it was just like some things like that. I was like, man, like I was bummed that I
Yeah.
missed those things, but also that it was like so back to back. So yeah, I was ready to be home. There we did like a really beautiful ceremony that was like that was probably my favorite thing. That is like the thing I don't know how to describe the most because it was just like such an intense emotional journey.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, then on the way home, like my flight got delayed and I was stuck in Lima and my I couldn't call like the airline
Yeah.
because like it was gonna like take like you can't it would take minutes or whatever because I was
Yeah.
in Peru. And so I could call Jake because I could call him on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And so I called him and I was like, I need you to call American Airlines and like figure this out basically. Um, and I didn't think I was gonna make my connecting flight, which was like in Miami to Tampa, and that was like my last one. I was like, I just want to be home so bad. Like I was just ready. I was
Yeah.
tired. I was ready. Like my body was like, I'm giving you all I got, and like we're
Yeah.
about to be done. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I did end up making it. And then the flight or the gate agent was so rude to me um on the way home from like to go from Miami to Tampa, which was like not even a full flight. So I was like, I don't know what your problem is, but whatever. So yeah, overall like it was like I would 100% do it over again, but I would prepare in a
Yeah.
much different way.
Yeah.
So
Where do they go next?
they don't know. I know like when I talked to Caroline, like I was supposed to actually go to Morocco with a friend once I got home and I was like, no, that's not happening. Um, but I told that to Caroline and she was like, we're actually thinking about Morocco, like as an option for one of the next retreats, and I was like, oh yeah, do that because I want to go to Morocco. So, I think that would be cool. I know they're both doing like retreats, not like together also. Like they're doing some that are like just for their own business. And I know Caroline's thinking about doing one that's like in Japan, which I think would be awesome. Um, just yeah, just a bunch of different cool places. So,
Cool.
I don't know, but all their stuff is under Worlds Together. And like we can link that below, but it was good. It was just a lot.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of energy and then being back home like I'm pretty sure I got COVID, to be
Oh
honest.
man.
Like I think it was COVID because it was like that feeling of like being like weak and achy and like the brain fog and like feeling like I needed to like sleep constantly and like my stomach hurt. Like it was like all these random things that I felt like. And it was like for like a solid week. And so I had worked really hard to be able to take this time off. And like, I didn't really feel like I got a lot of rest in Peru. And then I got home and I had to rest because I was sick, which like doesn't feel like
Yeah.
restful rest. And then I finally felt better and I did some landscaping and I hurt my back. And that took like 5 days to get better. So it was just like, and then like we
Yeah.
had the wedding planning meeting, like, and I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I don't know like what to
Yeah.
tell you. I'm just tired. So yeah, yeah, like I'm grateful for that experience. I'm grateful that I am able to be able to take time off like that. But
Yeah.
I'm like definitely bummed that I didn't get to have time that was just like restful rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's the thing I think I'm like kind of grieving a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
thank you for sharing that story. That's, those are the kinds of things that I think help us grow in different ways and sometimes in ways that we don't want to.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Well, until next time.
All right, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.